What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mile High Hockey. Mike Evans, Will Peterson with you. And we're here 5 days a week thanks to our good friends from Mountain High Appliance. Appreciate them sponsoring Mile High Hockey during the Avalanche's playoff run, which, Mike, the playoff run is 2 losses away from being over. Avalanche was an absolute heartbreaker last night, 2-1 at Ball Arena to the Dallas Stars. Second game in a row. Overtime has stunned them in it's a fashion that is hard to sort of comprehend because it's just boom, it's over. And 2 games in a row, they've gone down 2-1. Mike, they've only trailed for 62 seconds in regulation this entire series, 180 minutes of regulation, yet they're down in the standings overall. So much to unpack, but let's just start with this. What was your biggest takeaway from another frustrating game from the Avs?
Well, the power play's killing them. Absolutely killing them. You know, we were raving about the power play during the regular season, especially after the Mikko trade. Marty Necas came in and the power play just seemed to explode. And we were like, wow, it's a fresh new look to the power play, and they're dominating. They're not now. 0 for 6 in game 3. And you're looking at, 2 games, game 2 and game 3, where you had golden opportunities with the power play late in regulation. Last night, 3.5 minutes to start overtime with the power play, and to not be able to convert with the kind of talent that they have it's just flat out inexcusable. So I would start there with that being their biggest failing, not being able to be up 2-0 or even 3-0, maybe 2-1 or 3-0 in this series.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, I'm sitting there last night. Brock Nelson gets hit in the face with 40 seconds left in the third period, and the refs call a double minor, and it's a 4-minute power play.
It's over. At that point, it's over.
It's over.
It's just a matter of who's going to score.
You got 40 seconds to win it in regulation. You've got 3:20 to win it in OT, and it was the most disjointed, ugly, disgraceful power play I have ever seen. They couldn't get settled in the Dallas zone. They finally do with like 15 seconds left of the 3:20 in OT, and Arturi Lehkonen has a shot get blocked and goes wide. And, oh, what do you know? The Dallas Stars win it like 2 minutes later. Let's dive into this power play. Why is Jonathan Drouin still on power play 1? Why is Marty Necas still on power play 1? Those guys can't do squat right now. I would sub them both out, and I'd put Valeri Nichushkin and Gabriel Landeskog on PP1.
Preach. I think you look at that, and you also have to understand there's a style in play here too. They're being too fine, too precise on their power play. They're looking to make the beautiful play rather than the simple play. And I think that if you made those changes, you'd get 2 precise guys in Necas and Drouin out of there, and 2 more just throw it at the net and let's create some chaos in Val and Gabe. So in this case, I think it's fair to second guess Jared Bednar in the way that he has deployed his guys on the power play. And I would think moving forward in game 4, there have to be some changes.
No, there has to be, because this isn't sustainable right now. Mike,
can I add one other thing? Yeah. Cale Makar, for the standard that we hold Cale Makar to, he's been bad.
Fumble Ruski
in these 3 games.
Hold on to the puck.
No, he's got to be better.
He looks like Melvin Gordon, Mike. Not a comparison I want to make, but like literally every time he gets the puck on his stick, it's fumble, 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 fumble. I mean, it's kind of hard to watch. Speaking of hard to watch, I've been in the building against the Dallas Stars for 4 straight playoff games. The Avalanche have lost 4 straight playoff games at home to the Dallas Stars. Game 3, 4, 6 last year, game 3 this year. Jared Bednar got asked post-game. I was in his press conference about it, and he said, we don't pay attention to that. Like, if we pay attention to that, we're in trouble. We only pay attention to this game and the next game. But it's got to be in the guys' heads at this point. They can't beat Dallas at Ball Arena in the playoffs right now.
All right, so 4 in a row. That's not an aberration. That is a flat-out trend. That is a pattern. So why? Okay, the best answer I can give you is this. And it's something that has plagued this Avalanche team in the playoffs every year, save for the one where they won the cup. If they run up against teams that are physical, that take away open ice, that lean on them, and basically challenge them to a physical tug-of-war type hockey game, the Avalanche just can't or won't play that kind of style. And we saw it on display again. You had Bednar after the game talking about there's not a lot of open ice out there. You heard the team announcer saying there's not a lot of open ice. Well, you know what that's code for? It means you can't try to make the pretty play. You can't try to skate your way into the zone. You know, Nathan MacKinnon is Nathan MacKinnon, but he thinks he can slalom around a couple of guys. It's not going to happen. You're going to end up turning the puck over. It's going to go back the other way, and Dallas is going to end up with a scoring chance. So, look, you know, the Avs, they have to develop more of a just grimy, greasy, blue-collar type attitude and understand, okay, maybe during the regular season, we're a skate kind of team, but maybe in the playoffs against a team like Dallas, especially when Dallas comes into our own building and is very, very content to play a real methodical, grinded-out type style, you're going to have to adopt some of that. And so that means chipping the puck in, going to work, trying to win battles in the corner, get people to the front of the net, throw the puck and collapse and go after Jake Ottinger that way. They've got to change up their style, because when you lose 4 in a row to one team like this, and it's so obvious the way that Dallas is playing, you got to adjust. You have to. There's 4 games now to prove that they haven't done that.
No, I'm with you. A little more grit, a little grimier, a little gross. I don't care what G word you want to use, but it's got to be one of those 3, because the Avalanche are in a lot of trouble if they don't change their style. All right, another G word, Gabriel Landeskog, his return last night. Mike, I got to tell you, when he was announced in the starting lineup, I've been in Ball Arena, 200 times in my life. That may have been the loudest I have ever heard it. They announced him last in the starting lineup. They even put Blackwood before him. Yep. And Mike, the cheer went on for 30 seconds. I mean, the video's on my Twitter at Peterson Will if people want to go see it. And then it erupts into Landy. Like, the press box was shaking. Anyone who knows where the press box is in that building, it's at the very top of the building. My back is literally to the roof of Ball Arena. And I was like, is this an earthquake in here? I mean, it was unbelievable, Mike. So let's talk about the return of Gabe, the reception he got, which was obviously fantastic, but also I thought he looked pretty good last night. We didn't sit here leading off the show going, oh, Gabe was terrible. That's why they lost. It wasn't a Gabe Landeskog problem last night.
Gabe was one of their top forwards.
Yeah.
I mean, he was better than Brock Nelson. He was better than Jonathan Drouin. He was better than a number of forwards in a game in which it screamed for more physicality from the Avalanche. Guess who led the team in hits? 6 by Gabe Landeskog. He made a couple of really nice passes as well. And for a guy who hadn't played hockey in over 1,000 days, NHL hockey, I thought he was terrific. He wasn't a liability at all out there. I think he actually was a strength to this team. And I was curious to get your take on this, having been in the building. Was there any part of you, because I heard our buddy James Marilat suggest this, was there any part of you that felt that Gabe and his return was a distraction that hampered this team's ability to win last night?
No, not in the least. In fact, Mike, I'll take it one step further. Gabe played so well last night, they should have played Gabe in game 2. Right? They should have played him in game 2, because even 80, 85, 90% of Gabe would have been better than Miles Wood, who, oh, by the way, had the turnover that cost him an OT in game 2. No, I think Gabe looked so good last night that he was not only not a distraction, he would have been a better option earlier in this series, and they blew it by waiting to bring him back until game 3.
I can't argue with that. So, moving forward, the Avalanche did not lose because of Gabe. He gave them a chance to win. But if you're going to talk about the reasons why they lost, do not bring up Gabe Landeskog's return as a distraction, because, the emotion that you're talking about, it was in the building. It was awesome. I mean, it was terrific. Okay. But once the puck drops, I mean, you saw the style of play, everybody watching here. You saw it. It was fast. It was physical. If you weren't keeping your head up, if you weren't paying attention, you were going to get your clock cleaned last night in that game. So this notion that Gabe's return was a distraction, these hockey players up and down that bench, they had far more important things on their mind. They were far more concerned with doing their own job and protecting themselves out there than they were just constantly just spectating and watching Gabe. I don't buy the distraction thing one bit.
No, I'm with you 100%. I wrote 3 different articles about it at denversports.com. People can go check those out, including Landeskog's post-game press conference, his reaction to coming back after 1,032 days. And Mile High Hockey will be back tomorrow for a full Game 4 preview. Let's face it, a must-win for the Avalanche. We'll see you in 24 hours.